Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with the news. We're going to talk about this because not many people are, and I'm not going to get too controversial. I'm going to read what the White House itself has said, and we're going to just discuss what we can. Let's dig in. The Declaration of North America, signed January the 10th, 2023. Today, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, President Joseph Sleepy Biden, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met in Mexico City for the 10th North American Leaders Summit. And these leaders are determined to fortify our region's security, prosperity, sustainability, and inclusiveness through commitment across 6 pillars: diversity, equity and inclusion, climate change and environments, competitiveness, migration and development, health, and regional security. North America shares a unique history and culture that emphasizes innovation, equitable development, and mutually beneficial trade to create inclusive economic opportunities for the benefit of our people. We are not just neighbors and partners. Our people share bonds of family and friendship and value. Above all else, freedom, justice, human rights, equality, and democracy. This is a North American DNA. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. First pillar. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is foundational to the strength, vibrancy, and resilience of our country. We focus on providing marginalized communities opportunities for their full, equal, and meaningful participation in our democracies and economies. To advance these objectives, President Obrador, President Biden, and Minister Trudeau reiterated their joint commitment to protect civil rights, promote racial justice, expand protections for the alphabet, and deliver more equitable outcomes for all. In partnership with Indigenous peoples, we will promote innovative and sustainable solutions that honor traditional knowledge, foster Indigenous-led growth, and drive job creation. We will continue our cooperation to build societies where Indigenous women and girls can live, learn, and lead without fear through the Trilateral Working Group on Violence Against Indigenous Women and Girls. Indigenous women from all 3 countries will convene in the coming weeks to facilitate discussions about priorities and best practices, including in areas of political, economic, and social development. The 3 countries also reaffirm our commitment to gender equality and empowerment of women and girls in all their diversity by aiming to improve financial and political support for women and girls' rights. Climate change and the environment. This is the second pillar. Mexico, the United States, and Canada recognize the critical nature of taking rapid and coordinated measures to tackle the climate crisis and respond to its consequences. Oh wait, did I accidentally click over to that? My bad. And eliminating the costs of greenhouse emissions. Oh wait, I jumped too far. Respond to its consequences. This includes achieving our respective 2030 nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement and working together with the other 14 countries to keep a 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature limit within reach. Y'all better inform the sun. Y'all better let the sun know what's up. To promote buy-in for ambitious cuts to emissions. Ambitious cuts to emissions. I wonder what that would be about. You know, people keep talking about maybe they want to ban something, but it's not really about the ban. That's the big ask. The big ask is, hey, we're going to ban this thing. And they're like, no. All right, well, then we'll settle for some heavy regulation. Some heavy regulation for some reason. To promote buy-in for ambitious cuts to emissions, we will come together to align approaches on estimating the social cost of greenhouse gas emissions. We will continue to implement and build on commitments from the 2021 North American Leaders Summit on climate mitigation, adaptation, and resilience, while renewing our focus on reducing methane emissions from all sources. What produces methane? What? I can't think of it. Seems like there's something that produces methane that just happens. Like it just... Organic matter. Organic matter produces methane. That's what it is. While focusing on reducing methane emissions from all sources, with a new focus on waste methane, we will explore standards to develop hydrogen as a regional source of clean energy. We will move swiftly to accelerate the energy transition by deploying clean energy solutions, including increasing the production and adaptation of zero-emission vehicles in North America and transitioning to cleaner fuels. In partnership with Indigenous peoples, we reiterate our pledge to protect biodiversity, to work towards ending deforestation, and doing our part to conserve 30% of the land and waters by 2030. 30%, huh? How do you reckon they're going to get to 30% conserved? You know what conserved means, right? That means you can't go. How are they going to stop people from going? I'm curious. Competitiveness, our third pillar. We seek to deepen our regional capacity to attract high-quality investments, spur innovation, and strengthen the resilience of our economies, recognizing the benefits brought by the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. I wonder where that came from. To boost regional competitiveness, the three countries will seek to forge stronger regional supply chains, as well as promote targeted investment in key industries of the future, such as semiconductors and electric vehicle batteries, which will be critical to advance electric vehicle development and infrastructure. We will convene public-private dialogues and map out supply chains to address common challenges and opportunities. You're going to have real trouble selling that, is it? In Wyoming, where they just banned EVs, you're going to have a real tough sell there. Might have to pull the militia out. Critical minerals are an essential component to accelerating North America's clean energy transition. Each country will review and map out existing and potential reserves of critical mineral resources in the region, while taking care of the environment, respecting local communities, and adhering to high ethical standards. So we're going to make a list. I was going to hold my comments to the end, but I just can't. We're going to make a list of all of our strategic resources and supply them publicly. That seems like a brilliant idea. That seems like the best idea ever. To support innovation, job creation, and workforce development, the three governments commit to working in the private sector, civil society, labor, and academia across... I lost it. Hold on. Civil and academia across North America to foster high-tech entrepreneurship, promote small and medium-sized enterprises, and strengthen technical education. Yeah, we know that the governments like to work with the private sector. We're discovering that a little bit more every day. Twitter's letting us know a little bit more about the government working with the private sector. It's great stuff. We will also consider trilateral approaches to promote sustainable, inclusive jobs and develop the workforce to meet our climate commitments. Today marks the sixth, migration and development. This is the fourth pillar, right? Migration and development. Today marks the 6th-month anniversary of the Los Angeles Declaration on Migration and Protection, a bold new framework for regional responsibility sharing that 21 leaders endorsed on the margins of the 9th Summit of the Americas. The three countries of North America each made ambitious commitments under the Los Angeles Declaration, including working together to advance labor mobility in North America, particularly regarding regular pathways, and have been delivering on these commitments. Since June, Mexico, the United States, and Canada have been collectively welcomed record numbers of migrants and refugees from the Western Hemisphere under new and expanded labor and humanitarian programs. But we were told this was not happening. We were specifically told that not only was this not happening, but that we were crazy for saying that it was. We were crazy for saying that people were coming here under new programs. We were called names for that. And today we affirm our joint commitment to safe, orderly, and humane migration under the Los Angeles Declaration and other relevant multilateral frameworks. This includes assisting host communities in promoting migrant and refugee integration, providing protection to refugees, asylum seekers, and vulnerable migrants, strengthening asylum capacity in the region, expanding and promoting regular pathways for migration and protection, addressing the root causes and impacts of irregular migration and forced displacement, and collaborating to counter xenophobia and discrimination against migrants and refugees. That's one of the names that we were called, right? Now more than ever, we need to identify and address the root causes of irregular migration and forced displacement. Mexico, the United States, and Canada commit to supporting countries across the Western Hemisphere to create the conditions to improve quality of life, especially in marginalized communities that are vulnerable to both forced and internal regional migration and displacement. To that end, we will continue to work together with our respective private sectors to promote responsible business practices, implement obligations under the USMCA and international labor conventions, and cooperate to eradicate the use of forced and child labor in our supply chains, like for them cars you're trying to push. Health, fifth pillar. Trilateral health cooperation will focus on launching an updated North American plan for animal and pandemic influenza to improve prevention, preparedness, agility, and provide rapid response to health emergencies in North America. The North American Health and Security Working Group will develop and launch a new, revised NAPAPI as a flexible, scalable, and cross-sectoral platform to strengthen regional prevention, preparedness, and response to a broader range of health security threats that include influenza and beyond. As we emerge from the acute phase of the COOF I can't say those words reading them from the White House document. We also recognize that resilient health systems, including a strong health workforce, are a foundation upon which effective preparedness and response will be built. We will continue efforts to build stronger and more resilient health systems to meet the broad range of health needs in our countries. Regional security. Mexico, the United States, and Canada will focus our strategies to bolster our shared continental threats against domestic, regional, and global threats, including cyber threats. Security cooperation will continue to abide by our common understanding that respect for human rights and rule of law contribute to a more secure North America. Our security cooperation includes actions to disrupt criminal actors and associated crimes across our shared borders, including money laundering, child SE, firearms, and human trafficking. We are taking a consistent approach to the collection, use, processing, retention, and protection of passenger name record data to strengthen our shared security perimeter and the safety of our citizens, including advocating for the global adaptation of standards and recommended practices of the International Civil Aviation Organization on PNR data. We will continue our North American drug dialogue and further advance our cooperative international efforts to address the growing global synthetic drug threat as the United States takes the chair in 2023. We will enhance trilateral work to address the use of precursor chemicals in the production of illegal substances in North America and to disrupt drug trafficking as well as strengthen public health approaches to prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery. Y'all know what this means? Y'all know what this means right here? This means that they fixing to put some further regulations on the medicines that you can buy. They're going to go ahead and say you're going to have a limit on what you can buy for more things than just the methamphetamine that they already got. And so, yeah, get ready for that. That's coming. As both natural and human-induced hazards and disasters increase risks to vulnerable populations, we will continue to work together to share training and best practices to keep our people safe and address emergencies, including natural and other disasters. Recognizing the differentiated impact disasters have on women and girls, we aim to integrate a gender perspective into these efforts. Looking forward, these commitments made during the summit are rooted in a shared vision for a more equitable, just, inclusive, resilient, secure, and prosperous North America, and a shared responsibility to achieve more equitable outcomes. responsive to the needs and aspirations of all our citizens. As we work to implement these commitments in the upcoming year, we seek to model a democratic and sustainable path based on trust to promote inclusive prosperity and security. Mexico, the United States, and Canada look forward to building on this progress at the next meeting. So, I had to get that in there. I had to talk about it for just a minute. I wanted to pull up one more thing, but I think I closed it out. Oh, right here. I'm going to go ahead and swap this over. And I'm going to talk about real quick about exactly where this is heading. Because if I were to want to put this into effect, if I were to want to start that, what I would do would be to sign away our rights. I would put somebody into office, whether it was legitimately or not, who would be wholly committed to doing so, who would sign whatever I put in front of them, that would slowly and systemically take apart every single thing that made us sovereign. I would get rid of our energy rights. I would purge our military. I would purge our law enforcement. I would purge whoever I thought would not follow orders, and they would be gone. And we have that situation, hypothetically, now. Then I would enter into agreements with my neighbors to roll something into place. I would sign away our ability to declare emergencies to some other governing body who could declare an emergency without our consent and regulate what we did without our consent. I would do that if I was trying to implement that thing. If I wanted us all to be very social, I would do that. I would make sure that we had a test run real recently of a digital currency that we could control what you bought with that. I would make a push to get rid of alternative heat sources so that we could control what your thermostat was set at. I would make sure that we could control whether or not you could cook for the day. I would make sure that we would control everything about your life so that when the shortages hit, the shortages that, we're intentionally bringing about, hypothetically, then I would gather everybody up and concentrate them into areas. And these big camps, we'll call them camps, how about that? These big camps where we would concentrate these people would be prepared already. And all the fences on these places, they would all turn in. And they wouldn't face out to keep people out, but they would all face in as if they were a prison, even though they were emergency response situations. And I would, if it was me, make sure that people got used to responding to the National Guard as an authority, and make sure that they understood that the National Guard can step in with law enforcement powers, so that when I roll out the big emergency here later, when hypothetically we have some kind of strike coming in and we need to get everybody now, and we roll out the government, or there's some kind of storm coming in, or there's some kind of whatever, and we need to roll out everybody at one time, because you cannot give them time to plan or to think. You have to have the guard ready and have them, okay, we all need to evacuate, we need to do it now, and here's my gun saying that you have to come with me. And then the people in the guard are going to do it. They're doing it today. Like today, literally today. They're doing that. They're helping police United States citizens right now today. They've done it before. They did it after Katrina. They do it during these big storms, and people are accustomed to it. And so when they roll out into your city in their trucks, and they're like, hey, I need y'all to come. There's an emergency situation. We have to evacuate now. There's no time to explain. We'll explain later. Are you going to sit back and wait and see? Are you going to be the one that's in your house? Are you going to be the one that's booking out to the woods? If the guard rolls up, if the National Guard's coming into your neighborhood with trucks and loudspeakers, attention to U.S. citizens, we need you to evacuate. There is an imminent danger. There's an imminent threat. Transportation will be provided. The buses will be here shortly. You get on the bus? Are you going to do that? I'm just speculating hypothetically here, because these type of situations have a tendency to escalate in ways that we don't necessarily anticipate. These agreements that we make can seem completely innocuous, but anytime they use the word equity, they mean communism. They mean socialism. They mean that. That is what they mean when they say the word. They want everybody to have an equal outcome. I want everybody to have an equal opportunity. Your outcome is up to your drive. And if you ain't got no drive, you don't get no outcome. So we need to be very vigilant, hypothetically, with these situations that are going on. There is something happening, y'all. Hypothetically, there is something happening, right? In this hypothetical situation where all of these things coalesce, where you have a military that no longer has resistors, and they're pushing it again, right? They lost one court battle and they're pushing it again, but they're getting rid of the people who would say no. They're no longer there. The people who are there now are the people who stayed, and the people who stayed are the ones who are going to say yes. So don't give me the argument that they're not going to come. Don't give me that argument. They're doing it now. The National Guard is rolling out now. Don't tell me they won't do it. They've done it before. Don't tell me they won't do it. They went house to house in New Orleans taking people's weapons from abandoned homes. They went, and not necessarily abandoned, because they took some from people. And that's what I know about. Like, I know about Katrina, but it's happened before. It's happened in other places. These tornado disasters, the National Guard rolls in and they round up weapons. They're taking stuff, right? They're making sure that they get under control what they need to get under control, and they're conditioning you to respond a certain way to certain authority. And that certain authority is coming. Hopefully I didn't say too much in this. It is what it is. If I go down for this one, I go down for this one. Like, I'm trying to find some median balance here, because that's where I'm at. Like, I can't do the reactions anymore. I can't do the copyrighted content. It's like the algorithm is pushing away from that. It does me no good to do those. It doesn't. Like, none. Not even a growth-wise anymore. So, and YouTube is specifically going away from that. Like, people who are doing it now, you will see them pivoting. They are already pivoting. They have been pivoting, because they let us know months ago that they were coming for this type of channel. So I had to change what I was doing. I started this channel doing news. Maybe we'll do news. Maybe it'll be the bunghole bits. I'm going to try different things until I find something that sticks. Hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment to a situation that's not getting a whole lot of it. Like, there's a few people talking about this. I've heard about it from a few people, but this is a big deal. Like, this is hypothetically a really big deal. This is hypothetically as big of a deal as giving away our right to declare emergency situations. And the fact that we're going to itemize our strategic resources seems like a bad idea to me. It does not seem like a good idea to me. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe I'm over the top. Y'all let me know. If I'm over the top, hit me in the comments. If I'm not, hit me in the comments. If you like what I'm doing, give me a like, share, and a sub. Throw me all the love, because it is what it is. We're trying to feed an algorithm here. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me. And I am praying for you every single day. Till next time, I love you. You're perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pittstake. Peace.